It's really important to note that StudentKeeper must be enabled when you're using Jamf Teacher. StudentKeeper is an app on the student iPads which allows the use of the internet. It has filtering and monitoring controls in, and if it is not used, the internet cannot be used by students. If students try to delete the app or disable the app, no internet will work, and if you do not enable the app in Jamf Teacher when you create your lessons, it will cause issues when you come to clear the lesson at the end, so the iPad returns to normal, ready for the next lesson. So very important, please enable StudentKeeper. Jamf Teacher is a fantastic app to help guide the learning. It gives you full control over what apps, websites and restrictions are on student iPads in your lessons. It's really easy to use and it's really simple to set up lessons to use, and with the touch of a button you can decide what access the students have. Let's head into the Jamf Teacher app on the Teacher iPad, which is the larger iPad on the left. Here you will see on the side you have your classes and you have your lesson templates. We are going to create a lesson template so we can start our lesson when our students arrive, and the iPads will adapt to it exactly how we want them to be in that lesson. I'm just going to head into create a lesson template, and I'm just going to call this Year 11 Revision. From here on the right hand side we can decide what websites, apps and restrictions we want in place, and on the left hand side we can share this lesson template with other members of staff either via email or via AirDrop. We can duplicate this lesson template and adapt it for other year groups or other classes that we teach, and we can also start the lesson from here. First of all, let's build the lesson. I'm just going to go into allowed apps first, and the most important app that we need to include here is StudentKeeper. If StudentKeeper is not enabled, the internet will not work. When you come to clear the limitations at the end of the lesson, it will cause issues. This is the most important app, so always make sure that it is applied. I'm also going to add in Shobi. I'm going to add in Apple Notes, and I'm just going to hit apply. Here you can see that these are the only 3 apps that students will have access to. I'm now going to decide what websites I would like students to use. I can do this by adding websites individually by tapping add website, or I can upload a CSV of websites to make it quicker. I'm going to upload a CSV, and here you can see these are all of the websites that I would like students to have access to. I hit apply and they now appear in the website section. You'll also notice that because I've given them websites that I would like to use, I have to have Safari enabled because I'm asking them to go onto the internet. In this bottom section, the restrictions, I can decide what restrictions I'd like in place. I can disable the camera, I can disable spell check, screenshots and AirDrop. I'm just going to turn off AirDrop in this one, and I'm going to hit apply, and you will notice that they appear as well. Now I can share this as said before, so I can share it via AirDrop or I can share it in an email. I can duplicate it if I want, and I can adapt that for other classes, and I can start my lesson from here. However, the best place to start your lesson is by going into classes on the side, choosing the class that you currently have, and on the left hand side you'll see we've got all students, or you can select individual students. Now I only have 1 student in my class, but you would have a full list of students in your class here. In the top right hand corner we have this little files button. If we tap into the file, that's how we start that lesson. I'm going to tap, I'm going to choose my Year 11 revision lesson, and it's really important that you choose a duration of your lesson so that it clears after the lesson is finished. So if I'm going to teach for an hour, I'm just going to put in 55 minutes, so at the end of that lesson, and the iPad will return back to normal, ready for the next lesson. When I hit apply, take note of the student iPad on the right hand side, as this will change, and now the students only have access to the apps that I have given them. As the lesson is in motion, you will see there are some orange boxes with some time in on the side. These tell you how long the lesson will last for. Now I can adapt this lesson as I go, so I can add in any restrictions, or I can take restrictions out. I don't have to start the lesson again. So if I've decided that during that lesson I don't want access to the camera, I can add that in now, and the camera will not be accessed by the student. If I decide that during that lesson I'd like a challenge and I'd like students to make a movie to show their understanding, I can hit apply, and on the iPad on the right hand side, iMovie will appear. This doesn't affect the lesson template, this just allows you to adapt the lesson in real time. Now there are 3 ways to clear the restrictions here so that they are ready and the iPads are reset and ready for the next lesson. You can either wait for the timer to end and those restrictions will clear. You can tap on the 3 dots and you can go to clear all limitations, and that will reset all of the websites, all of the apps and all of the restrictions. Or you can go to leave class, and you do get the option to clear restrictions and leave. I'm going to hit clear restrictions and leave, and the iPad on the right hand side resets back to normal, ready for the next lesson. Jamf Teacher is fantastic just to help focus that learning and guide that learning. It can help to eliminate distractions for students, but it's really important that you enable StudentKeeper to make this work.